What's the most disturbing secret you've discovered about someone close to you? My fiance told me she was breaking up with me because I got cancer. The real reason was even worse. We dated for 4 years and had what I thought was a great relationship. We were both well-established professionals who both owned homes in the same neighborhood and both with daughters in the home. We had actually planned to get married, build a house, and raise the two together. We planned the house build because she had recently been diagnosed with a neurological disease that would eventually put her in a wheelchair and need something that would accommodate her. Fast forward 6 months, we were looking at property to develop and finalize drawings on the home when I began feeling ill. I couldn't eat, constantly vomiting and passing blood. I began noticing that my abdomen looked swollen, which was odd because we were both very clean eaters and were in the gym every day. So I went to the doctor and began having tests done. During this time, she began having small cognitive issues, and the stress of her current position was exacerbating her condition. So she took a $20,000 pay cut along with a lesser position inside the company. After a month or so of different tests and a biopsy, it came back that I had a golf ball-sized tumor in my stomach and would need to begin chemotherapy. So I began chemo and radiation treatments, which made me, expectedly so, extremely ill. She was spending time helping around my place on the weekends and staying over more, to the point that she and her daughter were both at my home, more than theirs. At this point, I suggested that we go ahead and put one of our houses on the market and move in together until the new house was built. Shortly after this discussion, she became extremely distant. Her daughter wasn't coming down and hanging out with me anymore. She had excuses for not getting together. She quit driving me to treatments and stopped staying over. She then dropped a bombshell text message, a sentence that will forever be burned into my psyche. I love you, but I can't see myself taking care of someone this sick in the long term, and I don't think we should see each other any longer. It broke me. I won't lie. However, I tried to be mature about it. I forced myself to understand her position and to accept what I could not change. The next day, I calmly gathered all of her things, packed them neatly, loaded them in my truck, and took them to her house to leave on the back porch while she was at work, in order to avoid any awkward exchanges. Walking around the back and under the porch cover, I sat down a box, and saw her in her back living room, on the couch having intimacy with a man that she had introduced to me as a lifelong friend. I had dinner and drinks with this man and his girlfriend. We had gone on vacation with them, as well. I never spoke of the incident with her, and simply sent her a text later, explaining that I would leave her things on my side porch to pick up at her convenience. 9 months later, I found out from his now ex-girlfriend that they had broken up due to him confessing that he had been sleeping with my significant other, dating back to about the time we were finishing drawings on the new home. Now I was furious. After my chemotherapy and radiation treatments, I started to feel stronger. I was catching up on some paperwork I had let pile up when I found a folder with $40,000 worth of unpaid bills. I immediately sent them to my lawyer to start the process of putting a claim on the house we built for the money owed. It was just in time too, because she was about to sell it. These bills had been left unpaid for over 9 months, so the interest was huge. All of this money would be deducted from her. After paying for the house, the bills, and the lawyer, she was left with only around $10,000. This meant she couldn't buy another house as she had planned and had to move in with her eldest daughter, sister-in-law, and 2 grandkids. She also had to quit her job and started getting disability payments. I ran into her a year ago, and she looked as if she had aged 20 years, and was in a wheelchair. We chatted cordially but briefly and I excused myself and went on with my day. She then called me a week or so later and began apologizing for leaving me as she did. Again, cordial but short, I thanked her for calling and hung up. She began texting and this went on for several weeks until one day she asked if I could ever see us rekindling what we had, to which I replied, I can't see myself taking care of someone so sick in the long term. Remember the box on your back porch? Did you think that a lifelong friend brought that over to you from my house? Good luck to you. Goodbye.